We have more breaking news this noon in the battle for control of Hartford City Hall. After a crushing defeat in last week's Democratic primary, Mayor Pedro Segarra announcing that he will not run as an independent in the general election in November. Chief Political Correspondent Mark Davis joining us live now with the very latest on that. Good evening, Mark.
Good afternoon, Keith. Good afternoon, everyone from Hartford City Hall. You know, because the city of Hartford is very similar to New Haven in one respect, and that is it has overwhelmingly Democratic registration, in practical terms, the election is almost over here. Segarra walked to his brief news conference with Luke Bronin, the candidate that beat him by 10 percentage points in the primary last week, and urged all of his supporters to come together and support him.
The voters have spoken, and although the result was not the result that I was hoping for and the one that I worked so hard for the good of the city and in order to bring unity to the city, I am announcing that I am ending my campaign.
He had qualified for the ballot in November, but did the gracious thing and has stepped out. And joining us is Luke Bronin, the winner of the primary, and now the winner here again, because without someone of that stature competing, it does look very, very good for November. Were you surprised that he decided what he decided?
I don't know if I was surprised. You know, the mayor had said election night that he wanted to take some time to think about it. I respected that, but obviously I'm very glad that he made the decision that this was a time for us all to come together as Democrats and as a city and look to the future.
Right. You had a very decisive win here last Wednesday, winning the North End decisively, the West End, and even some of the South End, which is his strong point. But a lot of the Puerto Rican neighborhoods did go for him. What will you do now to reach out to them? Will you use him as a possible surrogate in that area?
Well, look, throughout the campaign, I've knocked on doors all over the city. I'm going to continue to do that. I've got a general election to run. I'm going to work just as hard over the next 6 weeks as I did over the last 6 months. But I'm going to be reaching out all over the city, reaching out to those who did not support me and make sure they understand that they've got a seat at the table, that their voice will be heard. I'm looking forward to uniting this city and moving forward together.
I had heard that you are planning, if you win, when you win, to call for everyone's resignation at City Hall here. Is that right?
Well, I've probably asked for resignation letters, but I'll be sitting down with all of the staff, all the senior staff who serve at the pleasure of the mayor, and getting to know them much better and talk with them in detail.
Right. So you've got a bit more time to go, because there is, of course, a Republican, Ted Cannon, and City Councilman Joel Cruz, who's the Working Families Party, and the Working Families Party does have some punch in this city.
As I said, I take the general election very seriously. You know, this is an overwhelmingly Democratic town, but I always work hard, and I'm going to continue to work just as hard during this general election.
All right, thanks very much. Thanks for joining us here on News 8 at noontime. Good luck to you. And we'll have more on this, of course, coming up tonight. Live from Hartford City Hall, Mark Davis, News 8.